Hi everyone! Today I'm really excited to share a really special video. This morning I had the incredible privilege to speak at the transition conference hosted by the school system that I went to school at in middle school and high school. So Shelby County Schools in Alabama hosted a wonderful conference for educators and parents of young students with disabilities, and students themselves, I think, were also there. And these students all have IEPs, which is called an Individualized Education Plan. And it's something that I had as a student with a disability. And I was contacted a couple weeks ago by one of my old teachers. They're called the Teacher of the Visually Impaired, TVI, Miss Bobby, and she asked me to prepare a speech just talking about my journey as someone who started out in middle school and high school with an IEP to someone who went to college and grad school and who's building a career as a professional singer with a disability. Because I feel like sometimes, I remember wanting a career in art so bad, wanting a career, but having no idea if it could be possible because of my disability and because I was blind. Was it going to be possible for me? And I'd never seen it done, so I didn't think it was possible. So, thinking back, thinking forward now, I'm doing it, and I'm very blessed to be doing what I'm doing now, but it took so much hard work and it took so much advocacy. And so Bobby asked me to write a speech talking to the parents and students and teachers just about my journey and giving them some advice and wisdom that a 27-year-old can give. I'm still young. I told them I'm still growing up. But I prepared the speech for them a couple weeks ago, and I presented it this morning. And I'd love to say it and perform it for you guys now. So enjoy, and thanks so much for watching and supporting me. So my speech was called Redefining Possible, a soprano story of access, advocacy, and artistry. Hi everyone, my name is Madie Hendrix, and I'm an opera singer, classical voice teacher, and passionate advocate for access in the arts. One of my biggest career goals is to make opera accessible and exciting for everyone. I also happen to be blind, and I'm so excited to be here with you today to share my journey from being a student with an IEP to college and grad school to building a career I love. My hope is that something I share today helps you see even more possibility for your child. One of my favorite quotes is from a fellow blind soprano. Just because you haven't seen it done doesn't mean it's not possible. That truly captures what my journey has been all about. So, just a little bit of backstory on me. Like many young singers, I started out singing pop music. I worked with a commercial vocal coach and performed throughout my home state of Alabama. I wanted to learn about singing from everyone I could, and had some pretty random, fun, and hilarious times singing along to a vocal warm-up CD a teacher surprised me with one day at school. It was iconic and awesome. But things shifted when I joined choir in high school. I became very serious about my voice, and I thought it was amazing that it could be used as an instrument. And I was really also fascinated by the music we sang in choir. It was very different from pop, but I loved it. Choir changed everything for me, and I knew I wanted to study classical voice in college. And the support I received from my friends and family and teachers during that time was just what I needed, not just as a young artist, but as a young person with a lot of questions about my voice and my life. Because there was a time where I didn't believe studying music was possible because I was blind. Even in grade school, I wanted to participate fully alongside my sighted peers. And I'll be always so grateful for the teachers who made that possible for me, believing in me when I did not believe in myself, because I had never seen this done before. College was a big leap. Suddenly, there was no IEP to guide my accommodations. I had to understand what I needed and communicate it clearly. That kind of independence takes time and courage to build. But the Disability Support Services Office at the University of Montevallo, where I did my undergrad, they did an amazing job of helping me grow. Fun fact, I began my music degree not knowing how to read music, but I knew I needed to learn. I started with Braille music books I'd received in high school and kept going from there. Today, I read music proficiently, and that has opened big doors to employment and success. I now teach Braille music to young musicians who don't have a teacher or resources, and it's wonderful to give back in that way. I firmly believe music education isn't an extra activity for students in our schools. It's truly a necessity. I had amazing professors in college, especially my voice teacher, who helped me grow into the singer I am today, and an incredible English teacher who helped me find my love of drama and Shakespeare and grow in confidence as a person, as a performing artist, and a young woman. I grew a lot at Montevallo, finding my musical and creative voice. During the pandemic, I discovered opera thanks to live streams from the Metropolitan Opera House. But I didn't think it could be my path. I was afraid of the movement and the acting, and I didn't think my voice was big enough. And I wasn't even sure grad school was the path for me. But I applied anyway, got into both schools I auditioned for. I moved to Atlanta in 2021 to pursue my master's degree at Georgia State University. Grad school had its ups and downs. I didn't always feel included in the opera department. I was so ready for a chance at a lead role, but I was placed on the chorus in every production. The frustrating part was that I knew I could do it. I just didn't know how, and I wasn't being taught. I felt like my disability was a potential liability, but I knew deep down that with some accommodations and creativity, performing independently on stage was more than possible. That's when my amazing teacher, Catherine Hartgrove, stepped in. She agreed that opera was possible for me. We just had to spend some time thinking outside the box. One of the biggest challenges for me was that I had to let go of the fight or flight response I often carry as a blind person in everyday life, because I'm constantly like, what's in front of me? What's in front of me? Especially in an unfamiliar space. But the stage eventually became my home. And once I was oriented, I walked around it without my cane and without any fear. Catherine taught me how to move naturally, gesture boldly, connect through various facial expressions, and interact seamlessly with my castmates. I even took a stage combat class with Marcus Durham, an amazing combat instructor in Atlanta. I told him before we started the class, I'm blind but I don't want to just sit back and listen. And he said, let's do this. I'm excited to work with you. I fully participated in the 3-day acting workshop, learning how to fall backwards, forwards, and sideways, slap, grab hair, faint. And it was scary, yes, but it was transformational. It was possible. During my performance diploma year, Catherine became Georgia State's stage director and cast me in Puccini's Suor Angelica. In my very first scene as Sister Genevieve, I ran on stage by myself, no cane, no fear, surrounded by my convent sisters. It was a moment of total trust and freedom. I truly felt the sky is the limit. In the summer of 2024, I traveled to Tuscany, Italy, as one of 13 emerging artists in a summer opera program. I worked with an incredible coach and stage director, sang in unforgettable concerts, and yes, ate the best pasta of my entire life. When I got back, I chased a dream I never thought possible. I auditioned for the Metropolitan Opera's La Font competition. I didn't win any awards, but one of the judges told me after I sang, "It was an honor to hear you today. You are a powerful advocate for this art form. Please come back next year." That moment made me truly realize I belong here. My voice belongs here. My blindness is a part of who I am, but it does not define who I will become. Today, I teach private voice lessons online, conduct educational voice and opera workshops for school and community choral programs, perform in outreach concerts, sing professionally in Atlanta's most high-level church choirs, and speak at events like this one to share my story and passion for what I love. Getting my most recent church job took advocacy too. My director had questions. How would a blind singer fit in? Completely understandable when you've never worked with a blind singer before. I loved that he asked. Many people are afraid to, and I always say, don't be. So I answered, in my situation as a singer, I have the same skills as any other, just without the sight. But I have some pretty fabulous technology that allows me to read music and make markings just like my sighted colleagues. Send me the music ahead of time. I'll have it in Braille within a few days, ready for rehearsal. Give me verbal cues during rehearsals since I can't see you conducting. This can work. He gave me a chance. I showed up, just being me. And I got the job. My next big dream? To work with the Atlanta Opera and start preparing for this year's Met competition. To all of you raising young people with IEPs, whether you're a teacher or a parent, or maybe you're a student with an IEP, your love and your advocacy matters so much. It can feel overwhelming at times, but your kids can do amazing things. You can do amazing things, kids. Keep believing in them. Keep believing in yourself. Keep helping them build the skills to advocate for themselves. It's so important. And never underestimate how far they can go. Remember, just because you haven't seen it done doesn't mean it's not possible. Feel free to ask me any questions. Reach out via YouTube, email, Facebook, Instagram, and I have a website coming very soon, so stay tuned. Madie Hendrix, Soprano. To close, I'd love to sing an aria for you. It's called O mio Babbino Caro, and it's probably one you've heard before. If there were a Billboard Top 10 for opera arias, this one would totally be on it. It comes from Giacomo Puccini's one-act comic opera, Gianni Schicchi, which is totally chaotic and hilarious in the best way possible. Think secret wills, fake identities, a family fighting over inheritance, and one very clever man, that's Gianni Schicchi, outsmarting them all. In the middle of all that drama, we meet Lauretta, Schicchi's daughter, who has fallen in love, but Schicchi won't let her be with this guy. So in this aria, Lauretta is dramatically begging her dad to let her marry this man. It's sweet and a little over the top. Honestly, if you've ever been around a determined teenage girl, it will feel familiar. Now, don't be intimidated just because it's in Italian. Truly, even if you don't understand every word, the emotion comes through loud and clear. Puccini made sure of that. But underneath the drama, it's really about love, determination, and wanting to be understood. And for me, it's a reminder that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the people who believed in me, especially at the moments when I wasn't so sure I believed in myself. Okay, so you see, opera is actually awesome. It's super relatable. It centers on real emotions we feel every day, set to the most stunning music. Now that you know all the drama, this aria could actually be seen from your real life. You're more than ready. Enjoy. Thanks for letting me be here today. Thank you so much for letting me share my story, my journey so far. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, and thanks again so much for tuning in.